Good evening and welcome to another installment of Tinkering with Atkelar. Recently I did a photoshoot at a convention with a time travel theme. Since I'm a huge fan of the Back to the Future movies, I was immediately hooked on building the time circuits as a prop. Finding some reference material, including dimensions, was easy enough. The original used metal cases and LED displays. But here's where I would have problems. The studio flash is quite powerful and drowns out any regular LED. A few years back, I built a fake torch using a cheap flash hidden inside a tiki torch. I decided to reuse the concept. Make a simulated LED display that gets lit by a flash. To get that idea to work, I would also have to use a single housing instead of the original 3. And since I'm still not well equipped for metalworking, I decided to do some simulated aluminium to go with the simulated LEDs. I used Illustrator to lay out the display and printed the intended numbers on an overhead transparency film. For the basic inside structure, I picked a simple wooden bar, cut to length and glued to the front, which is made from thin acrylic. Since the glue didn't stick well to the acrylic, I added some screws for good measure. Again a bit later, the assembly is now almost complete. A top and bottom plate are still required, as well as some more wooden rods for stability in the backside. The laser printer was a bit too translucent, so I doubled up the intended numbers. For good measure, I added a sheet of all 8s to the stack. That way, a tiny amount of light would show through, just like non-lit segments in an LED display would also be slightly visible. To create the different colors, red, green and yellow, I added a layer of colored film cut from a schoolbook dust cover. Quite ironic in a way. Even well after 2015, our books still need dust covers. A semi-transparent film made for a reasonable dispersion to create a more even illumination. For the labeling, I used regular paper printouts and some of the punch labels that were popular in the 80s. I even found pink tape, which was a close match. The outside of the 3 modules should be covered in aluminum, with cutouts for the display. Some cutting, alignment and gluing later, the displays take shape. The flash itself was to be mounted on the bottom plate using a rubber band. That way the light sensor was on the outside while the flash bulb was on the inside. And here we go, testing the result. I think it looks close enough, doesn't it? I did try to put it back into its proper place too, but somehow it fell off again. Whoops. I'll put some more details into the video description, also feel free to comment. See you next time. Yes, next time